Hello, Grammar and Writing 1 students. I'm Dr. Harper and I will be your instructor for the upcoming school year. I hope you all had a wonderful summer and that you are excited about the start of school. I know I am. I thought it might be helpful if I made a short video that details some of the materials, expectations, and procedures for the Grammar and Writing class. I also thought it'd be helpful for parents to have access to this since you won't be sitting in class with us each week, but that way you would know what all your child needs in order to experience success throughout the upcoming school year. In our first class session, I will go over everything your child will need, but thought it'd be helpful if I hit a few highlights in this video. So your child will receive this tomorrow for the Grammar and Writing course. It's on a yellow piece of paper, and it is a condensed version of the syllabus. It talks about Canvas, the breakdown and percentages of assignments, along with tests, quizzes, and just the classroom expectations. So please make sure that you look over this. I'll have this hole punched for your student to put in his or her notebook. So just make sure you go through this and look at everything this first week so that you're aware of all of the expectations for this particular course. One of the things that your student will need to bring to our first class session will be your 3-ring binder with divider tabs, okay? Make sure you've got paper in here and your divider tabs as well. I have my tabs labeled Class 1, Week 1. I have my second divider tab labeled Class 2, Week 2, and so on. This way I will keep all of the handouts that are given in Class 1 right with the assignments that will correspond with those handouts for Class 1. So keeping everything together like that, I think, will help students to stay organized. If you like, you can create a separate divider tab, just labeled Essays or Writing if you'd like. You can keep all of your graphic organizers, outlines, rough drafts, final drafts in that essay section if you'd like, but you don't have to create a separate divider tab. You're welcome just to include your weekly writings in the appropriate, divider tab, whether it's writings for week 1 or week 2 or so on. So you choose if you want that extra divider tab for writing in your notebook. You don't have to have it, but you can if you want. So make sure you bring this with you each class session. Also make sure that you bring your writing and grammar work text with you, okay? You're gonna need this because we will be looking at, of course, examples in the book. We'll be doing exercises throughout the class period. So make sure that you've got your copy with you each time that we meet. You also will need to bring your composition notebook. Each week you're gonna have writings, short, not long, but I want you to put them in the composition notebook. That way when you bring this to class, I at random will ask students to, pick a day, or I will pick a day, and you will share what you have written that day, whether it's sharing it verbally or writing it on the board. So make sure in order to get your credit for the work that you do in your composition notebook that you have this with you in class. In our second class session, you will need to make sure that you have your copy of How to Write Your Life Story by Ralph Fletcher. This is going to be our mentor text as we start our narrative and personal writing unit. So please make sure by class session 2 that you bring this in with you. We'll be reading some of it together, and then your week 2 assignments will include some reading from this particular text. So make sure you've gotten yourself a copy of this. Along with the books and notebook, make sure you've got pencils, pens, and highlighters each week with you when you come to class, because of course we will be using those and you will need them. Your weekly assignments are going to be found on Canvas. You will need to access them through the module section of Canvas, and that is an icon you can click on the left-hand side when you are in Canvas, when you've logged on. I will have everything for the week all in one section, and I will also include all handouts that you will need for the week's assignments in that module of Canvas as well. I ask that students, you print this out, hole punch it, and stick it in your notebook where that divider tab is for the week, so that you have easy access to what you need to complete. Parents, you will notice, and students as well, that the first page has the essential questions for the week, along with the objectives for the week, what I'm hoping that you will accomplish, along with the Alabama Course of Study standards, so you can see that there is alignment between what you're doing and the grade level expectations. So, all the assignments are labeled day 1, day 2, day 3, and day 4. Parents, I do ask that as your students are working through the assignments that they not skip and try to do day 4 assignments on day 1. There may be an assignment on day 4 that builds on the knowledge from the previous day's lessons, and I don't want any student to get frustrated or upset because they might find that assignment on day 4 too difficult simply because they haven't done the practice leading up to that day 4 assignment. So I've tried to structure things so that the assignments build in complexity throughout the week. So please make sure that you stay in order, day 1, day 2, day 3, and day 4. Most assignments you'll just need to print out and have a hard copy of them when you come to class, but there will be sometimes that I will specify this assignment needs to be submitted by Friday at 12 p.m., right before lunch, right, on Canvas. I will do that especially for writing assignments, because a week is a long time for me to go without being able to provide feedback for you as you are doing your writing assignments and we're practicing the different modes and styles of writing. So please just make sure that you do pay attention to that in the assignment sheet. It will specifically say this will need to be posted to Canvas. So make sure you're reading through those assignments carefully, okay, for each week. So again, print these out and put these in your notebook, all right? When you come to class each week, I will have listed on the board what you need to make sure you have ready and out, whether it's an assignment to turn in or a specific exercise that we're going to go over at the beginning of class. You also will have a short quiz at the beginning of each class that covers the grammatical concepts that we talked about in our previous class session, then also that you've practiced throughout the course of the week while you are at home. You are allowed to use your grammar notes for that. So as long as you've done the assignments throughout the week, you should have no problem. The grammar quiz should be easy peasy, all right? So just make sure you've got your assignments with you so that you can use them if you need them when you're taking your quiz at the beginning of class. Throughout the course of the week, if ever you have questions about anything, emailing me is probably the fastest way to get in touch with me. Canvas does have an option of contacting me, but email will come like straight through my phone. I will be able to see it and hopefully help you if you have any questions about anything. I'll also have included at the very end of the assignment sheet for each week, I've put a little note about if you still have any questions before our next class session, then you're welcome to go to our discussion tab on Canvas and write down any questions that you have there, and I'll be sure to address those in our class session. The last thing I'm going to give your students before they leave class on Wednesday is a grammar and writing contract sheet. So I want to briefly mention that because they're going to get one of these to take home. This is just a sheet asking you and your parents to read through this together, and I'm asking you to sign it. It basically says that you are familiar with the policies, you are going to uphold the policies, you are going to complete your assignments with academic integrity. It's so easy nowadays to be able to get online and use AI to create writing assignments, and we just don't want to do that. We're not learning anything when we do that. So please make sure that you fill this out for me and that you have this ready to turn in during our second class session. I feel like I threw a lot out there at you, but hopefully if you have any questions, you'll feel free to contact me. I look forward to seeing you all in class, and I look forward to a really fabulous and fantastic school year. Thank you.